Over a span of 13 weeks, Channel's Discovery delved into some of the most topical themes in and around Africa. On today's final episode for this season, we take a look back at some of the places we've been, the people we've met, and more importantly, try to see if our discoveries have shed meaningful light on the salient issues addressed. The team's core objective with Channel's Discovery is to look into these issues while enlightening the global public about the motherland from a native's point of view. It's been fun, I must say, more like a discovery of oneself within the Africa the world is curious to know more about. Join me for a ride as we go back in time on Channel's Discovery. Welcome to Champagne Paradise. When Channel's Discovery made its debut, we chose to address the Euromonitor report that authenticated the fact that Nigeria's champagne consumption outclassed Russia, the United States, and the United Kingdom. What initially appeared to us as hearsay grew to a debatable report before revealing itself to become the truth, thanks to the likes of Funke Buckner, Alex Kuther, and Dr. Tennyson, to name a few. Enter Champagne Paradise.
The boys who do champagne by the bottles. Chucky Igbenidion is a club owner and a certified Lagos big boy.
So you're a big boy that lives and propagates the champagne lifestyle.
Oh, very much, very much.
Plus you own a nightclub.
Definitely.
You being a nightclub owner, I want to ask you now, you probably sell a lot of champagne.
Yeah, I do.
But how much of your revenue actually comes from selling champagne?
Like, if we're doing percentage, we'd probably say like 70%.
Wow. How much does a bottle of, say, Ace of Spades go for?
In my club, it goes for 120,000 naira.
Wow, that's almost $1,000.
Yeah, and boys go out ahead and do like 10 bottles.
10 bottles?
Yeah, straight up. That go crazy in the clubs are boys who want to tell you, oh, you didn't know me yesterday, you go know me today. They have a certain way they order bottles called bringing the bottles in a coffin.
What's that?
Okay, a coffin is actually like a freezer.
Okay.
A mini freezer that contains about 42 bottles of champagne.
Wow.
Now imagine filling 42 bottles of champagne in a freezer at 120,000 a bottle.
I can't even do the math. That's like, it's blowing my mind.
Exactly.
Wow.
A champagne discovery from the master himself.
Where do you clink?
Drinking is in session.
When you drink champagne, you look at the color, you see the color through your eyes. You smell through your nose.
Okay.
And then you taste the thing, but it's nothing for your ear. So when they say that if you want to enjoy fully, all your senses must be tickled.
Interesting.
So you bring the wholesomeness in all your senses out.
I guess I'm no Stevie Wonder. As we delved along, we decided to look at the African hospitality business to find out what truly drives this surge in developments by taking up discussions with an indigenous major player, a modernist, a trendsetter, and of course the big fish, which just happens to be where I'm standing right now. How have you maintained such high standards, and how have you maintained that top class?
To enable you succeed, there are two aspects of the success. There is the investment, which is the confidence of the shareholders in the company. Now, the second aspect now is the management work.
Okay.
The management work, when you continuously invest in your human capital, we cannot be recognized if the customer does not recognize us, if the guest does not recognize us. So we have to be able to exceed his expectation. We have to be able to maintain a quality and excellence in service delivery. The Nigerians, by their culture, they have this.
We're hospitable people.
Absolutely. I've been here for the past 25 years and I know.
So you're virtually a Nigerian then?
I am. So Nigeria could be a destination, beside business, for tourism as well. And trust me, Nigeria could have, and tourism and the hospitality industry could be a contributor to the GDP.
Out of all the dishes you prepare, what is the one that's the most popular, that you have to make the most of?
My opinion is, especially for Nigerian people, they like very much the seafoods.
The seafood?
Yeah, they like very much the seafoods if they are combined with the traditional tastes. For this reason, I chose fada rice with the prawns.
As we continued on our journey and quest for new discoveries, we chose to focus on an issue that affects Africa's most populous nation in its entirety. As I recall on that episode, I was standing right there and I said that the future is indeed bright.
Through my journey to figure out the power problem in Nigeria, I met with a number of key players, all with various applicable suggestions. However, my findings would be incomplete without reaching actual people behind the power generation plants. My final destination, the single largest installed power generation plant in Nigeria, the Igbin Thermal Power Station, which with its new investors fully aboard, are aiming to get more power to the people.
This is central control room.
So much cooler in here.
Yes, it's got to be. But the equipment is here that need to be cooled. And then the human beings who are working here too, need some cozy...
Where did all the humans come from? I didn't see anybody outside.
You won't see people outside because this is the control room from where everything that's happening outside is controlled. Everything you have seen outside can be controlled from here.
So how feasible is it for Nigerians to get steady power supply?
Very feasible.
And how soon, in your own estimate, do you think?
Soon, to the extent that we here are planning for doubling the capacity here already. Our Korean technical partners are in it already.
With a bit of an understanding how the power sector runs in Nigeria, the Discovery team decided to take a look at the next big item in this populous country, cars. Automotive Africa has us tackle the divide between importation and local manufacturing. Who could ever forget the name Innocent, who left an inspiring impression on me? He seems to be creating a mini Detroit single-handedly right here in Nigeria.
What strategies does your company have in place to ensure that you can compete with other manufacturers like Ford, Toyota, Honda here in Nigeria and in Africa?
We are doing it here for Africa, not only for Nigeria. You understand? And you know, you cannot manufacture without getting some components from them also. So they are doing it and they're supporting us to do it. So I believe it will help, not only help Nigeria, but help Africa.
This is purely manufacturing. It is not assembling. Assemblers is something, all these things we produce, they'll get in together
already
and
packaged.
couple. Yes, I can supply assembler. Look at this one that is filming now. Watch it before the ending. You will see how it is.
This one is going to be a boss?
Don't worry, you will see it.
Okay.
You will see finished one. Don't you see my latest car?
Okay, what model is this?
IVM Force.
Lovely.
And this is the finished one of the...
Okay, this is the
complete
finished one
now.
from what we've...
This one you see now, this is the finished one. It's the final thing they are doing on it.
One of my personal favorites was the city on the Atlantic, as it shows the ambitious part of Africa the world doesn't get to see every day. With Dubai becoming ever more popular amongst Africans, they decided to build one at home for themselves right here in Lagos. The Echo Atlantic is a modern-day marvel that speaks volumes of the potentials of Africa, which is looking to be one of the most popular hotspots for the natives and foreigners alike.
Wow, being here in the Echo Atlantic showroom makes me feel like I'm a part of history. And if these images are anything to go by, then this is quite literally one of the newest and ultra-modern cities in the world. The sand filling, the land reclamation, has there actually been any development in terms of building any structures yet?
Yes, a couple of developers have started building. So for example, you can see the model on the plot map.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
Yeah, that's called Echo Pearl. They've actually started on the first 2 towers. So the first tower, the estimated completion date or time for that is 2015. And then for the second tower, it will be the following year.
What is the vision behind the Echo Atlantic City?
Well, Echo Atlantic City, the original concept was to find a means to protect Victoria Island, which was under serious
threat. The shore of Victoria Island.
Yeah, I mean, Victoria Island in 2005 was threatened to the extent that the carriageway to our left actually collapsed into the sea.
After decades of little or no activity on the rail networks of Africa's fastest growing economy, the rail to recovery was the predestined choice for the Channel Discovery team. We were warmly welcomed by the Nigerian Railway Corporation, and once the train engines began to roar, it was quite a pleasant ride. The Eastern Line has since commenced journeys, while engineer Sijuade and the rest of his team are continuing with the extraordinary vision of a modern rail network. Good morning, Mr. Ali.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
How's everything?
Fine, thanks. Thanks for having me.
No problems.
So we're here at the Ido terminus. I wanted to say, today in Nigeria, transportation seems to be quite a huge issue. You know, there are problems with mass transit and just loads of people. You know, do you see rail being a possible solution to this problem?
Well, let's put it this way. Rail is not a possible solution. Rail is the solution to this problem.
Oh, wonderful. It's a pleasure. You are
I'm
very
James.
much welcome.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Okay.
So, is this actually a popular form and means of transportation to Nigerians? Because I've never been on a train before. Do plenty people go on trains?
What we have on track, what we have in railways, is what the Nigerians are yearning for. And what is it? Safety.
Safety.
Security.
Security.
Comfort.
Comfort.
And these are, you know, the wonders available when you travel on train.
And what sort of things take place in a running shed?
We do the daily maintenance and the trip maintenance.
Okay.
We have other major workshops where we carry out the scheduled repairs.
How much rolling stock has actually been procured by the NRC in recent times?
We bought 25 locomotives from General Electric.
Oh yeah?
And we also bought another 4 locomotives from China. And this year we launched what we call diesel multiple units. 2 sets that can carry 54 passengers each.
Having looked at cars and been on trains, the next logical step would be to get on a plane. And looking at how popular factual airport series have become all around the world today, we couldn't wait to seize an opportunity